In this step-by-step tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to draw a burning candle and animate flames in Procreate. Before we begin, you can get a free color palette via the download link in the video description. If you enjoy these YouTube tutorials, you may also want to check out my Patreon page, where I share exclusive videos and premium brush sets. It is also linked in the video description. Now if you are ready, let's get started! I've gone ahead and created a canvas with the size set to 2000 by 2500 pixels. To draw a candle, we are gonna use this color palette from the free tutorial files that can be downloaded via Gumroad link in the video description, and a few brushes that are already in Procreate. No special textures needed. So we can just start by changing background color from white into black. It works better to show transparent objects and flames. To do it, let's click on the background color, go to the color disk, and double tap at the lower side to select pure black. It worked. Next, let's grab a base color for the candle. It'll be number 1. Actually, we can first draw a perfect cylinder and later adjust it to add more artistic look, because in nature we can rarely meet perfect objects. To draw the candle, I want to use monoline, because its edges are not tapered. We can set the brush size to around 23%. And start drawing an oval shape. Let's wait a second and tap to make it go horizontally. After that it can be scaled. Now we can duplicate it. Click on the arrow and in this menu, enable magnetics. Now we can drag one of the ovals a bit down. Make sure to follow this blue line on the side. This way it will go strictly vertical. Like this. Now we need to connect these two ovals with the lines. So I will draw on one side. Try to match it. So we can click here on the line and adjust it. Like this. Then also draw on the opposite side. Let's also match it. Then we can merge these two layers and fill it all with the color. So I will just start to drag and drop the color inside the shape and adjust color drop threshold by moving the pencil to the right. Okay, now that we have this base shape, let's add one more layer, right above this one. Now we can pick color 4 and draw another oval on top. Let it go this way. We can also wait to make it perfect, even tap on the canvas, and after that adjust it. We can also move it like this. Put it close to the top edge. Now let's also fill it and start adding more colors. So let's go back here. We can add a layer above it and then clip. Let's first select color 2. Draw an arc somewhere here. Maybe we can put 1/3 of the shape. This way. Try to make it go parallel to the edge, so it is fully adjustable. Then we need to close the edges and fill it with the color. Let's now pick a darker one on the right and add one more shape. Actually, we can just do this. Duplicate this layer number 3. It is already clipped here, so we can recolor it by dragging the color. And after that, just drag it down. As you see, it is very easy. Now we have 3 colors here instead of 1. We can merge these 2 layers for now. Go to Warp tool and adjust the shape a bit more. Now it looks better. Let's go ahead and merge these 2 layers too. Now I want to blur these colors, and in order not to affect the edges, we can alpha lock the layer. Let's now find Gaussian blur in the adjustments and start sliding to the right until these 3 colors are blended. So it can be set to around 14% or so. It is done. It is already alpha locked here, so we can highlight the top part even more using color 5. This time I want to do it manually, using soft brush from airbrush and section. Let's adjust the brush size and add the color here on top, like this. So it will be slightly highlighted from the flames that we will add later. Okay, let's now leave this part and work on the inside. Before we shade this part, I think we better draw a candle wick, and for that we will need a new layer. Let's create it right here, above this oval. As the base color, let's use color 10. For this part, technical pen will be handy. You can find it in inking. With the brush size set to 8%, let's draw a stick that is bent to the left. So we can add a line first. That will go with a small angle like this. Then 2 horizontal lines. Make a rounded corner. And from this point, it will go straight down. So I will draw vertical lines. We can make it wider at the bottom to connect it with the candle. Let's also close the edges at the bottom and try to fill the shape by dragging the color inside it. We will get this. Let me just fix it here. I will make it a bit more straight. So I'm using a razor here that is set to medium hard airbrush. Now I'm satisfied with the shape. And we can add more colors to it. To do that, we can alpha lock the layer. Then select color 11 and go to change the brush into soft brush from airbrush and section. We can try to set the size to around 5% and apply it here on top of the shape to make it slightly lighter. Then switch to color 12 from the palette and put it on this edge. Let's go further and select color 13. Now with a smaller brush size, let's paint the corner at the bottom. To make it burn. Now after we did that, we can go to layer 2 and work on it. First of all, let's go to adjustments, select liquify tool and switch to crystals. I will add momentum and distortion but lower the pressure and also size. Start making strokes around the edge. To add these imperfections, let me adjust the pressure. And now it works better. We will get this uneven edge. And after we did that, we can deselect. Go to the smudge tool and use it together with soft brush. I just lowered the opacity to 85%. Let's also tweak the brush size. It can be around 2%. And we can smudge this edge too, to remove the sharpness. Now after we smudged it, we can put more colors inside. And to do that, we can add a layer above with a clipping mask. Let's first select this yellow color 5. Keep using soft brush. And make a few more strokes inside. Close to this edge. Also inside it. Then we can add one more layer. And grab very light color. It will be number 14. Let's now switch to medium hard airbrush. Its edge is not so soft, so the size can be set to around 10%. And we can add this highlight inside. Just create a shape like this. It may go a little down. And if we adjust the pressure, it will get more transparent. So we can use it. Let's also smudge the edges a little. So I switch to smudge tool again. And started to make strokes like this. Let's work on this edge. Hello. It looks nice now. So we can switch back to brush and add more smaller highlights. As you see, this layer is not clipped. So even if we go a little upper, it will still work. Let's just make the size smaller and add some strokes close to the edge. Then we can also put it here, at the lower side. Here we can make the size a bit bigger. And continue painting. I'm changing the pressure from time to time. And also the size. To make it natural. We can also try to smudge it a little bit. Let me just make it brighter first. So even if we smudge it, we will still keep some color. Okay. Now I clicked on the finger. It will work on the edge. This way we will make it softer and avoid the sharpness that I don't like in the drawings. Let's continue doing that. Blend these edges. And now after we did that, we can continue working more and add even more shadows and highlights for the contrast. So let's now go to the first layer that we created. Grab a razor, but this time switch to soft brush. We need to make the size bigger and erase the edge at the bottom to make it vanish, but not so much. Alright, now let's add a layer on top of it, but actually before doing that, we can go ahead and merge these layers. Then add one more layer on top, clip it, and set it to soft light. This is where we will add some texture. So let's first select black color, go to Vintage Set, and select Buzz. We can make the size rather big, at around 84%, and start making vertical strokes. We will get a texture like this. Now we can pick white color and add some more strokes, mostly in the center. But don't press too much on the pencil while doing that. Now we can add one more layer, clip it again, and also set it to soft light. I will also start with black, but this time select soft brush. We can shade some parts here, on the inner part, adjust the size and pressure, then make the size a bit bigger, and start to apply it on the sides to make them darker. Now let's pick white color, as I said, and add more reflected lights. This way we will achieve this volume. Let's do the same here. We can try to add more highlights to it. For example, on this part. Make it glow a little bit. And it will be enough. We need to do something with this edge. So we need to go to layer 3, which is our candle wick. Remove alpha lock from it. And smudge the edge at the bottom. So I selected the finger. It is a soft brush still. And I will start making smudging strokes like this, at the lower side. To blend it with the candle even better, we can pick the color from this area, alpha lock it again, make sure we have soft brush selected, and make a stroke like this, going up. So now it is blended. We can actually draw the fire, and maybe add a couple of more adjustments later. So let's add one more layer on top of this one. Go to the color palette and select color 15, which is very light gray or almost white. Let's also select medium harder brush and first draw a simple shape. Let's set the size to 34% or maybe 40 and just draw an oval shape like this. Not press too much on the edges. Now I'll go to Adjustments, select Liquify, remove Distortion and Momentum, and switch to Push. I will set pressure to maximum value and also increase the size. Now we can start pushing it up. And give it a shape of a fire. If you make the size a bit smaller, we can flatten the tip a little bit. Push more at some points. And also move it. Let's drag it a bit down. We can also use warp if needed. Then grab a razor, set it to soft brush, and erase this part at the bottom as a circle. Let's do it gradually. In order not to make it fully transparent, we still need some color here. Now let's alpha lock this layer and introduce a few more colors. Let's start with color 16. We can change the brush to soft brush and apply it around the shape. Go slightly upper, not press too much on the pencil. Then work on this edge. Go up here and also make a stroke on top of it. For now it'll look like this. Let's also add color 18. On top side. Also a little bit here. Then switch to color 17 and put it around the candle wick. Now if you go to the layer, open the list of blend modes and go down, we can set it to hard light. Still doesn't look nice. So let's try to duplicate the layer and set this one on top to add. It'll start to burn. If you like, you can add one more layer. Use this color and just add a few more strokes. So now it looks like this. By tweaking the opacity of this layer that is in add mode, we can regulate the intensity of burning. From this to this. So let's put it somewhere in the middle, at around 50%. While the flame is burning, the candle will start melting and dripping down. I mean, it would be nice if we add a drop somewhere here. So let's go to the first layer, add another one above it, and select the base color that we used. It's number 1. To draw it, I want to use technical pen. Let's make a shape this way. Connect it. Let me make it a bit wider here. And then I will fill it. Then let's grab a razor. It is a soft brush. And remove the tip on top. After that we can shade it. Since this layer is clipped already, we can just alpha lock it. Let's pick second color, then soft brush, and paint on the right side with very low pressure, just to darken it a little bit. And after that we need to add a highlight, so we can try to use color 5. Let's first add it on the left edge, also go upper, a bit down, and add a narrow line on the right, so it'll get volume. Let me lower the size, paint a bit more here, and then we can add another highlight with a lighter shade. It'll be number 14. So let's make a line here, and on the left side add some parts. So if we make the size very small, we can paint here. Now we only need to add the shadow. So let's create a layer under it. We can pick third color. Just make sure soft brush is here. And paint slightly on the right. Like this. Let's try to lower the opacity, so we can make more strokes gradually. It'll look like this. If you like, you can select these 2 layers and scale it, or even transform it in freeform, or use warp. I think I like it this way. Looks quite nice. So now that it is ready, let me go to this layer with the texture and also lower its opacity to make it barely visible. I'll set it to 73%, so we can still see it. Okay, let's see what else we can add. I think we can go to this layer with the shadows and highlights and add some more shadows. So let's select black color again. I will make opacity even lower and shade this part a little. Around the wick. I think it will be enough. Now it looks better. We can draw a candlestick, but I actually want it to look like glass. So let's go ahead and create a new layer on top of all layers. Then from the color palette, Select color 9. Now we need to go to calligraphy and pick monoline. Make it low size, between 3 and 2%. Let's start to draw an oval around the flame. Tap on the canvas to make it go horizontally, and after that we can scale it. Now we can transform it even more. What we need to do is keep the same perspective as the candle, so the edges need to be parallel. Let me also try to move it upper and center it according to the candle. So we can switch to freeform and put it like this. Now I will grab a razor and remove it from the flame here. Then create a layer under it and use selection. Let's pick rectangle and draw it from side to side. Go down like this. If we click color fill, it will be filled. Let's just lower the opacity to see the candle and transform it using distort. If we apply magnetics, we can drag the sides like this. Make it symmetrical. Also, we can erase this part. Alright, now we have this shape, we can use it. So let's add another layer above it. Set this layer's opacity to 0. Then click on it. And from this menu, pick Select. We can remove color fill option. Go to the new layer. Then pick white color from the color disk. And change the brush to Buzz from Vintage. Let's make a line this way. We can edit the shape. Then draw another one. Let's just lower the size a little. And draw it at some distance. Like this. Then do the same on the right. Make a narrow one. And then one more here. Now we can apply Gaussian blur here. At around 5% or so. And adjust the opacity of this layer to make it more transparent. It can be set around 43%. Now let's grab airbrush, this soft one, and make some strokes inside. If we alpha lock the layer, we can add some more colors to it. For example, we can reflect some reddish color. Let's select it from here. And try to make a stroke somewhere here on top. But keep it mostly white. Let's keep it like this for now. And create another layer for the stand. Let's place it above all layers. As the base color for it, let's select color 6. And also start drawing it with simple shapes, like ovals. So we need to select monoline brush. Let's increase the size to around 57%. and draw an oval at the bottom. Let me also tap on it. Then we can adjust the shape. Let's move it a bit upper, so it covers the edge of the glass. And then we can also transform it. So it goes a little outside, on both sides. We can now erase it here, according to the glass shape. Then duplicate it and drag one of the layers down. Now we just need to connect them with lines. On the left side, and then on the right. These lines can be adjusted. And then if we merge these two layers, we can fill the shape. Now we can also shade it quickly, but before that, let's go to the layer with the glass and erase it at the bottom for the shadow. Like this. This way it'll look better and darker. Okay, let's keep it. Go to this layer with brown color, add another one on top of it, and clip. We will use two colors, number 7 for the highlight and number 8 for the shadow. So let's start with the light one. Now from airbrush and set, we can pick medium hard airbrush and highlight this edge by drawing on it like this. Now let's create a layer under it and switch to the dark color. It is number 8. Here we need to use soft brush. Let's adjust the brush size and add a shadow on the right. Make another stroke. We may need to make a few of them because we have low opacity. And after we did that, we can add a highlight as well. So I will select color 7 and start painting on the left. And a small line on the right too, for the volume. Like this. Now that we have this shape, let's add some noise texture to it. We can do it on a new layer. So let's create it on top of this. Also clip it and set to soft light. We need to switch to black color. Let's use noise brush that can be found in materials. It used to be in touch-ups. Let's select it. Set the size to 29% and start adding the texture around. And after black color, we can also add white. On this side, for more highlight, and a bit on the right. Now I just want to add another shade, So let's create another layer. Also clip it. Set it to vivid light. And grab this yellow color number 5. We just need to switch back to soft brush. And make some strokes. A bit on this edge. And maybe a couple of small lines. Alright, I think it is ready. I will just merge all the layers for the stand. And move it upper, so it doesn't look like the candle is floating in the air. We can actually go to the layer with the candle. Also move it upper to make it short. And finish erasing it at the bottom with soft brush, so there are no sharp edges. Looks like it is vanishing. To add more highlights on the glass, let's add another layer above this one. Pick white color and medium hard air brush. It will work better here. We just need to set it to small size and start to paint like this. Make a few lines like this and then erase a little. Let's add a couple of lines here. Also smudge it with the razor. And maybe we can also highlight this part on top. So we can just alpha lock it. And also make a few strokes inside the shape. That's it. Before we proceed to animation, let's go to the layer with the candle, unlock it, and from adjustments, select liquify. As I said in the beginning, I don't want it to look perfect. So let's just push it a little bit. On different sides. I will be changing the size and working on the edges outside and inside, so it doesn't go straight. Now it is ready. We can just go here and also add a shadow by erasing it on the sides like this. Alright, we just came to a point when the drawing is ready. To export it as a still image, just go to Actions, Share, and select PNG format. In the end of the video, I will show you how to create a simple animation with a flame. Before we start, let's reduce the number of layers by merging some of them. Let's merge this. This one is not required anymore. And also all layers for the glass. If we now merge the flames, it will change a little, but still it is fine. Now in the canvas we can activate Animation Assist. Tap on the first frame and set it as background. Then tap on the third one and select foreground option for it. So this two will stay on the canvas all the time, and we will change the flame only. First let's rename it, it's frame number 1. Then I'll duplicate the layer, go to liquify, and apply push transformation to it. Distortion and momentum are at none, I have only pressure, so let's find a suitable size and start reshaping the flame. I'll push it to the sides like this. Let's also rename this one. It's frame number 2. To be able to see the previous shape, we need to adjust a few settings. Let's try to change onion skin color, because it is set to black here. Since we have black background, I'll pick some light color. Now let's continue duplicating and reshaping the layers. Let me push it more to different sides. Also drag it a bit upper. Let's rename it. And after that duplicate. When working on the flame shape, try not to push it too far. This way the animation will look smooth. Let's imagine there is a window open nearby and the flame is dancing with the wind. So I will continue duplicating, pushing the flame in different directions, up and down, left and right. Actually, the more layers we create, the better animation will look, and the longer it will be. You already got the point. I think I will make 10 layers or so. We can even change the shape a little. And stretch it from the bottom. Let me make a few more layers. Continue dragging the sides. Let's not forget to rename the layers, in order not to get confused, because when you duplicate a layer, it takes the same name automatically, and it's better if they go in order. It may go this way. I'm renaming it. And duplicating one more time. Let's make this one more or less straight, as it was in the beginning. Let me rename it. And we can try to play the animation. It looks fine, I think, but a little too fast. To change it, let's open the settings and reduce the number of frames per second. I'll set it to 12. It means if we now export the video, it will last less than 1 second because we have only 10 frames. To make it longer, we have two options. If you have a lot of time, you can just continue repeating same actions until you have enough frames. But there is a more simple way. Let's just select all the frames from 1 to 10 and drag them all on the canvas to copy. They will appear like this. So let's deselect this layer by swiping to the right, and after that drag them all up. I will repeat it a few more times. So as you see, it is very easy and fast, but maybe it won't look as natural as if we reshaped all layers manually. Now to export the video, let's go to Actions, Share, and select Animated MP4. You can change the quality and speed here, then just click Export and save it wherever you like on your iPad. And after this final step, our drawing and animation tutorial is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For more tutorials and brush sets, check out my Patreon page. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon!